Hey, what's up everybody? Anthony DeGioia here with the Silver Screen Analysis, and today we're continuing on with the next 5 movies in my series of forgotten films from the 1990s. So let's just dive right into them. Coming up first, we have Trespass from 1992. Directed by Walter Hill, this action thriller starred Bill Paxton, William Sadler, Ice-T, Ice Cube, and Devorah White, with a script written by Bob Gale and Robert Zemeckis. This story follows a couple of Arkansas firemen that come across a map that's leading to some stolen gold in a dilapidated St. Louis factory. When they go there to attempt to recover it, they are unaware of the area's gangland affiliation. They get in the way of an execution, and soon they are the targets. I loved this film growing up, and I still think it's a fun action movie today that really does still hold up. It's a confined action movie that pretty much is just one long tense standoff in an abandoned building, and I think it really thrives with its simplicity. It's a simple story that really serves as the perfect vehicle for some fun adrenaline pumping action scenes, and I also love the direction from Walter Hill. He went with a more handheld camera style, and I thought it worked perfectly for this story. It really does pull the audience into the settings with the characters, and it provides the most impact from all the tense shootouts. It's loaded with simple gunplay that really does lock it nicely in the popcorn genre, and the cast was honestly solid as well. Sadler, Paxton, Ice Cube, and Ice-T, they all bring in some solid performances. I thought the tension between the characters was perfectly captured through the performances, and it really makes the most out of the plot. The story plays out virtually in real time, and by being able to feel the suspense through the characters, it does a great job of putting you in the story with them, making it that much more engaging. The standoff virtually continues throughout the entirety of the film, with different characters coming in to try and solve the problem, and it really does incorporate some awesome weaponry and just entertaining practical stunt work. The film knows it's a pure action movie, and it keeps that as the focus, with a lot of grounded action set pieces that don't try to do too much, and if you haven't seen this film, I highly recommend checking it out. Next up, we have Return to Paradise from 1998. This drama is the American remake of the French film called Force Majeure, and it stars Vince Vaughn, Anne Heche, Joaquin Phoenix, Vera Farmiga, and Jada Pinkett Smith. The story in this one follows 3 friends on vacation in Malaysia, having fun, partying it up, drinking, smoking a little bit of hash, and enjoying the paradise. They all go their separate ways, and a couple years later, they learn that one of them has been imprisoned for the hash and is being sentenced to death, something that can be reduced if they agree to guilt in the situation and serve prison terms of their own. I thought this film was a classic tale of morality. The concept was explored with an intriguing structure that really did examine each character with a heartfelt detail. You can kind of connect with each of them and see the moral dilemma for the 2 characters, the desperation from one and the emotional connection from the other, and it was really riveting to watch them all play out with one another. Now, from 96 through 1998, Hollywood certainly tried its best to make Anne Heche a household name, and while it didn't quite work, she delivers a powerhouse performance in this film. She opens up such a natural emotional connection to her character that you truly can feel her predicament in this story. Vince Vaughn, who was also on the rise at the time of this film's release, delivers a very capable performance as well, and Joaquin Phoenix must also be commended for bringing the film another very emotionally charged performance by pouring himself into this role. I think this film is highly underrated, and the ensemble cast is fantastic. They all take material that is already highly dramatic, and they elevate it with their portrayals that will definitely leave a lasting impression on you. Next up, we have Cadence from 1990. This military-based drama was directed by Martin Sheen, who also starred in this one after Gary Busey was reportedly let go for his on-set behavior. He would go to star alongside his son Charlie Sheen, with a strong supporting performance from Lawrence Fishburne and James Marshall. The story follows an inmate that is always finding trouble, played by Charlie Sheen, who is sent to stay at an army stockade under the rule of a strict sergeant that really results in a deeply personal rift between them when their worlds collide. I enjoyed the emotional journey this film took, as it explored the troubled life of the main character, played perfectly by Charlie Sheen. This film was successfully able to tell a couple of interesting and very emotionally driven stories, and it was really able to weave them together very well until the dramatically charged third act. It tells the story of Charlie Sheen's character, a man with a tormented past that gets into trouble due to the chip on his shoulder, as well as the story of Martin Sheen's character, a tough drill sergeant that has many emotional issues under the surface that are suddenly ignited when their 2 lives cross paths. The chemistry between the characters felt felt very natural, and their performances came across very raw and unpredictable at times, which are really what helped make this both a very emotionally driven and suspenseful film. And Larry Fishburne comes in with a solid side character, delivering a fantastic performance as well. I thought this film was very heartfelt, but not melodramatic. It captures the journey of a man learning about genuine friendship and being a part of a group and shedding his outsider mentality, and it also explores the downward spiral of a man who really tried to suppress a lot of his past torment with not a lot of success. And I thought it worked all of these elements together extremely well as tossing in some moments of just organic humor to kind of break the mood at times, making this a great film to see. The next film on our list is Unlawful Entry from 1992. This psychological crime thriller, directed by Jonathan Kaplan, was headlined by Kurt Russell and Madeleine Stowe, with a chilling performance from Ray Liotta. This story follows a normal LA couple who, after a break-in at their home, begin being stalked by the responding officer, who is a very skilled manipulator. Now, I think this is a highly underrated and often forgotten thriller that delivers a fantastic story that feels so suspenseful because it's grounded. It feels like something that could really happen. The thought of a psychotic cop using his freedoms to stalk a couple is something that's really scary to think about, and I thought it was captured perfectly in this film. I thought the cast was excellent, but in particular it was easily Ray Liotta that makes this film great. He delivers a perfect villain for this role, and as he progressively gets more sinister as the story went on, the tension level continually rises for the viewer as well. Liotta was evil, he was eerie, and all this role needed for an enjoyably unpredictable antagonist. The film sets the stage by introducing our normal couple played by Kurt Russell and Madeleine Stowe, and from there it continually progresses. The tension continually ramps up as the clashes between the characters grow more serious, and it leads to what I thought was a very rewarding third act. Just sitting back and watching Liotta's character manipulate this couple's lives will pull you into their position, making you think about what you would do and how you would handle certain situations, which I think always translates to a fun, naturally engaging thriller. The final film on our list today is The Vanishing from 1993. This mystery thriller starred Jeff Bridges, Kiefer Sutherland, and Nancy Travis, with a small performance from Sandra Bullock prior to her rise to fame. This was the American remake directed by George Sluizer, who also directed the 1988 Dutch original. The story follows a young man who relentlessly pursues his missing girlfriend, unknowing of the fact that her abductor is watching him and really ready to test the limits he will go to in order to get her back or to find out what happened to her. I think this film is a classic example of an effective psychological thriller. It really dives deeply into the psyche of the characters, and the mental manipulation crafted in this film was pure enjoyable evil, I thought. The story really takes a lot of twists and turns that get more sinister with each passing minute, with just loads of unpredictability. I thought the performances were fantastic. Kiefer Sutherland comes in and captures all the emotion and determination needed to make him a character you can naturally connect with. I think the determination you can see in his character will make you want to see the story out in hopes of him getting what he wants, and I think it was the charismatic performance from Sutherland that pulled that off. Jeff Bridges was absolutely chilling in this role. He was unassuming with a shy demeanor, but you can truly sense the evil and capability in him without the need for dialogue, and Bridges really showcased some skillful acting in making this demented character the memorable one that I think he was. The story continually evolves through the many layers as it explores the minds of these characters with a very compelling progression. You learn more about them with each passing scene, and while a bulk of the film feels like two parallel stories that weave together seamlessly, they do merge together great in the third act finale that's going to have you on edge like a good mystery thriller should. And that's it, guys. That's the second set of films in this series of forgotten movies from the 1990s. We're halfway through. There's still 10 more movies to talk about, so certainly be on the lookout for the next video. And if you missed the first one, you can catch the link to it at the end of this video. So I definitely hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to drop it a thumbs up and make sure to hit that subscribe button so you can catch all the new reviews. Thank you so much for watching. As always, guys, I'm Anthony. This is the Silver Screen Analysis, and I'll see you at the movies.